Hey everyone, thanks for listening, subscribing, leaving a thumbs up, leaving comments, sharing. Thank you for your contribution to the channel. While everyone was talking about 2020 being the year of clarity, since the numbers 2020 represent perfect vision, I was working on a piece about social media and some things that were going on social media. I was like, I'm not talking about 2020. Everybody's pretty much saying the same thing. After listening to Julius Malema's 2019 closing message encouraging people to be responsible citizens, then I changed my mind. I said, yeah, you know what? I am going to say something about clarity and why it's needed to live a life you love. Malema's message reminded people to be clear on what their situation is and stay focused. The 3 points in his address that resonated with me the most were: don't die from being irresponsible, live to experience economic freedom. Don't neglect your children because there are perpetrators out there. And next year is going to be a crisis because you acted in a manner that is unacceptable. So instead of him disregarding the thoughtless behavior that people have and wishing the best, he is saying, be the best, take accountability, apply right action now, not later, and live with purpose. People living without purpose or clarity tend to strengthen problems instead of solving them. Being careless with money, refusing to build wealth, people neglecting to monitor how much time kids spend in front of a screen and what they are watching, sending kids to an environment without regard of how hostile that environment is to them in the name of education is the same as handing your kids over to predators or perpetrators. Refusing to check yourself, refusing to take accountability and make necessary changes now contribute to growing problems. Pay attention to yourself and act responsible. Start off clear. Be clear on what you want, on who you want to be, what you want to do, and what you want to have. Why you want to have these things. Perfect vision helps you operate with intelligibility. Who do you want to be? And when you ask yourself, who do you want to be? The answer isn't going to be, I want to be a dancer or a teacher. Ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to be? I want to be the kind of person that notices what isn't working and takes immediate action to correct it. I want to be so full of love that I can change the energy of the room just by walking in. But I should say change the energy of the room for the better, right? Because you have people that can change the energy of the room just by walking in, but it's usually not, I mean, not usually, but sometimes it's not for the better. And then when you want to do something, why do you want to do that thing? So you don't want to just say, oh, I want to lose weight because I'm fat. Say, I want to lose weight to feel accomplished, or I want to lose weight so that I can move better. And moving better is going to make me more active, or I'll feel more confident about myself. Make your reason clear on why you want to do something, because you'll more likely achieve the thing that you want to do. And when you're clear on who you want to be, what and why you want to do or have something, you operate differently. Your actions will align with your purpose. Know that you're valuable and treat yourself like you are important and make a difference. Invest in yourself. Malema also spoke about being disciplined with money in his address. Being disciplined when it comes to money doesn't have to hurt. Make discipline a habit. Don't think of discipline as punishment anyway. Discipline feels good. And when you realize that discipline feels good, discipline becomes easier. So know you're valuable. Treat yourself like you are important. Make a difference. Invest in yourself. Use money to learn something new. Enhance a skill. Take a class instead of just adding to your shoe collection. 20 years ago, having a $28,000 a year paycheck and a little over $500 in savings, I thought nothing about spending $300 on a pair of shoes. The cost of the clothes and shoes in my closet exceeded the amount of money on hand. That was a standard for me. Today, I say, if what is in your closet is more than what's in your wallet, they got you. And if you can't afford to buy at least 3 of what you're purchasing, you can't afford it. So I teach the kid at age 5 to think about money the way I needed to think about it when I got my first job. I didn't know better. I wasn't given the right information before I started. So I do things like Save work, save money, because that's what I was taught. Work, save money, save money. So I'd work and save money, and as soon as I get my savings up, I'd feel free to quit a job, and I'd quit the job and then live off of my savings. So I was always saving still to survive. I wasn't saving with the attitude like, how can I make this money grow for me so that, yeah, I can quit a job and never have to go back to another job. Anyway, so look at where you are spending money unnecessarily. Maybe you can start cooking instead of eating out every day. Sometimes it might be something that seems like a small amount of money, but when you add it up, it's money that could have been better used on something else. You could use it to increase your wealth. I love acai bowls. And getting one for me and the kid will run about $16 more if we get extra toppings. So getting it twice a month, that's $32. With $32, we can eat one every day for a month with extra toppings. And I'm saying twice a month being $32, but there have been times I ate 2 in a week or snuck off without the kid because I might have only had enough money to get one. So now I make them at home. I had a friend that spent at least $5 a day getting a cappuccino or a mocha, some type of drink like that. And then she complained that she didn't have an extra $75 a month to take an interior design class that she wanted to take. So when I pointed out that she spent at least $100 a month at the cafe and she could use her coffee machine and make her own and stay out of the cafe, where she ends up buying bread, scones, and other treats to accompany the drink that she's going to buy, she told me that she deserves the treat because she works hard. And I have to laugh because I know I've done things like that many times myself. I used to eat at Benihana's so many times for lunch and thinking like, but this is cool because I'm eating the lunch special. But, you know, that was a lot of money that I was spending out of my paycheck. But again, it didn't seem like a lot. It didn't seem like a lot to eat at Benihana's and spend $15 for lunch a couple of days a week. So anyway, she was like, no, she deserves it. She works hard. And you know, that's the thing too. A lot of times when you don't feel fulfilled at your job is unfulfilling. You don't like your job. You don't like going there. You need these little treats to get you through the day. Okay. So it's just though, pack your treats or whatever it is. Do it in a way that you don't have to spend so much money. So when I reminded her that the interior design classes that she wanted to take would be a better treat, she argued that she needed her daily splurge to make it working the job that she hates worthwhile. So I was done. I knew I couldn't continue to rock with her because she couldn't see how the interior design classes was a better investment than sugar. And if you have a cash flow problem, check your crew. Connections are important and we need to make good ones. It took me a long time to learn that your net worth is strongly connected to your network. I didn't hang with a lot of people, so I ignored the saying, if you hang with 8 broke people, you'll be the 9th. I thought I was good since I was writing stuff, learning new things. So what they were doing or not doing had nothing to do with me. That's how I was thinking about it. Then when I wanted to get things done, and especially after having a kid and seeing I have no one around me that can guide me or assist me, I knew I had to make changes. I recognized that I had no connections or real support to get me where I wanted to go, that can help me get to where I wanted to go. I looked at who I spent time with and who they spent time with, and I recognized I was hanging with people that were doing a bunch of things that are unproductive and the opposite of what I wanted to do. I wanted to, just as far as your diet, sometimes you may want to change the way you eat, but if you keep hanging around people that want to eat in the way that you don't want to eat anymore, it is going to be harder for you to stay in that realm. You need to be around people that do what you do, that can support what you do or what you want to do. Sometimes that, anyway, so I stopped spending time with people that loved me and people that I love, or I could say that love me and I love. I stopped chatting with people that I've been friends with for years. So notice what comes with who you choose to hang around. If they're not contributing to your life in a way that broadens your horizons, Spend less time with them. You may love them. They may be family members. They may be good people. But if they are not making you stronger, more able, and resourceful, you need less contact with them. Be around people that force you to be stronger. And make sure that you're forcing the people around you to be stronger. Most of us don't have many people around us that can get us to the next level because we didn't grow up with adults that could get to the next level. You have parents that worked a job, then they taught you to work a job, and and then you'll teach your kids to work a job. Because I see this with one of my friends. It's like, I remember, I just look at the things that her mother wanted for her, and her mother almost wanted her to have the same life that she had. So she didn't want that life, but somehow she kind of fell into it, because that's what we do sometimes. I could look at situations in my life that I said, oh, I don't want that. That's never going to be for me. But I still ended up there, because sometimes we gravitate to what's familiar even when it's wrong. So anyway, what I needed someone to teach me how to get money without working a job. No one around me could help me with that because they never moved beyond the level of a job. I came on YouTube, and I come on YouTube for the person who feels misunderstood or judged because they want to move outside the circle. People who others underestimate or devalue because they don't fit the status quo. And especially the person devoted to living a spiritual life in the real world and surrounded by heathens. I'm on here for you. I know what it's like to try to achieve something and feel like it's so much harder because you're alone. I know what it's like to try to walk by faith and manifest things and use that spiritual power inside of you and feel all alone and have people looking at you like, all right, you keep rocking with God. And it's also like, when you're loyal to an ideology that no one around you understands, even if that ideology is black empowerment, because there's so many people that just don't understand that. They're like, black people been talking about this for years, but they ain't gonna move nowhere. I had books and Dick Gregory to hold me up and help me make the changes that I needed to make to live how I wanted to live. And that's one of the good things about the internet, the reach. You may be around people that don't see your vision. You may feel you live in a town that no one sees your vision. No matter where you are, you can find someone that resonates with you on the internet, and that is the good thing. Even people who live in places that have no phone lines or that couldn't have phone lines could now be in communication with people. So the reach could be someone across the world, may be that voice that you need to hear. And when I was first going through a transformation in my life where I've really felt like I am outside of the world to a certain degree, I didn't even have the internet. So I was ignorant to all of what goes on here. I didn't know you could get on YouTube and get an education. And I didn't know the huge opportunity to get miseducated too. On the most part, social media is a big waste of time for a lot of us. I started a commentary about that and its ill effects. And one of the points is that it takes away our ability to concentrate. Since this is the year of focus, consider eliminating social media as a source of entertainment and turn your internet usage and social media usage to money. Use it for business and obtaining worthwhile information. I'm going to challenge myself to keep only one tab open when I work. Well, maybe two. I rely on the Thesaurus. Can you believe a grown person over 35, a high school graduate, asked me, what is a thesaurus? I thought maybe they didn't understand my pronunciation, so I said it and I described what it is, and they still didn't know. So I can understand not knowing how to spell thesaurus. See, now I'm even thinking about, wait, am I saying it right? No, but for real, if you don't know how to spell thesaurus, I can understand that. You might forget one of the U's or something in there. But not knowing what it is, so if you go to school for years and get a high school diploma without knowing what a thesaurus is, why are kids required by law to go? I mean, it's just another way for the government to dictate how you ought to live. Get understanding. Commit to learning and growth. Dedicate yourself to never-ending learning and growth. Seek information, research. If any young people are listening to me, don't come out of school and think that, oh, you've done all the learning you can do. There's nothing more boring than an adult that stops educating themselves, that they just become very bland. Their conversation is just going to be about what goes on the TV. Yeah, they don't have that much to talk about. They're just going to talk about the common things. I mean, like I said, it's a boring person. Yeah, seek information, research. When you know better, you can do better. Choosing to stay ignorant is not acceptable if you want to triumph in your life, if you want to live a life you love. Even though they say sometimes ignorance is bliss, I really get that, because there's certain things that I know. When I was ignorant to what foods did to my body and what was being put into foods, I can just enjoy whatever. So I guess that's what they mean when they say ignorant is bliss. But I still always have a problem with that, because are you ever really happy? Are you really happy when you're sick all the time? Are you happy when you're contributing to a problem in society? You're making situations worse for yourself, But anyway, I'm getting thrown off the topic now. So, yeah, the more you know, the less you will be victimized. And that is the reason the system deprives us of basic information. Sometimes I just want to go in on how unwilling niggas are to work on their intellect, especially after reading comments people leave on social media. People can't even comprehend what they are seeing or listening to, then tell someone that they are wrong and make their argument using an unrelated point. I resist roasting people because I'm working on decorum. And sometimes I don't get the commentary out as fast as I want to, but it is really a blessing, because I would just say things that so many times I have started a commentary and I start saying something about someone, and even though I think I'm being cool and I'm not really going in or saying too much, when I come back to it and read it, I realized, okay, I didn't have to say all of that. I had many situations like that. And I think I'm going to actually talk about that at another time. Now I'm getting off focus again, so let me come back. But yeah, I don't want to come on here like I'm so smart. I know there's a lot that I didn't know and a lot I still don't know. So I don't want to come on here and lecture or chastise, act like I'm so smart. I understand people just don't know some things. I get that. Not knowing something is okay. It is not okay to know you don't know something and talk about it like you do. Or know you don't know and pretend you do. This is why we have so many politically correct yet politically dumb people walking around. Intelligent people look at their environment for clues on how to fix or adjust their course. The environment is showing me black people are being gentrified right out of every city in America. In the city I was born and raised in, a studio apartment smaller than some closets costs $1,500 a month. Rooms average about $1,000 a month. Then I've gone to other cities or suburbs that can't even compare to the Big Apple, and the rent is just as high. You might get more space for your money, but you aren't finding rents to be much lower. The environment is showing me that kids are too damn fat for their own good. Cops are terrorizing black kids. The environment shows me that society doesn't get outraged when a 200-pound cop can be on top of a scrawny teenage girl in a bathing suit holding her on the ground with his knee on her back. But then they get outraged over Michael Vick being honored by the NFL as captain of the Pro Bowl because he let someone fight dogs at his house. The environment shows me that there is no time served when it relates to black people. A traffic stop can easily be turned into a death sentence. All systems, the court, education, prison, have been weaponized against us. People have been conditioned to accept institutional corruption. The environment shows me that black people don't deserve to be treated equally or feel safe. Politicians let the police kill us with immunity. They target black people for prison. They reinforce police brutality against us, enact genocide by resource deprivation. They never amend their wrongs against us, then tell us we need to focus on fixing education, healthcare, unemployment, and prison reform. So that's why we need to vote for them again. When I look around the environment on clues on how to improve the situation, the only solution that makes sense to me is the black empowerment agenda. Vote as a block, quid pro quo, Seek to end state-sanctioned physical violence against black people, restitution for land and physical labor stolen from the descendants of American slavery. When an organization like ADOS used the black agenda talking points like no tangibles, no vote, created an acronym to target the people that would be down with the agenda, and then leads those that they targeted towards the polls to vote them down, it's obvious they're undermining the agenda. The leaders of ADOS say Powernomics doesn't work, black entrepreneurship and black banking is not the answer. The answer is a government job guarantee, baby bonds, and to vote them down. They are showing you that they are not going to bat for your interest. It's one thing to go against black empowerment because you don't know what it looks like or what the plan is, but to promote the agenda, then betray it, it makes you a collaborator with the oppressor, and you can't go unchecked. Free healthcare, free education, a job guarantee, increase in minimum wage, and prison reform are not going to help you when you can't afford to live in any city in the country. Black people as a group haven't made any economic progress since slavery. The average black person would quickly disagree with this because most black people think of consumerism as being rich. If you're able to buy expensive things, you're winning. Buying cars, Gucci bags, the furniture you want, being able to travel so you can shop some more is not winning. It's foolish. Black entertainers are the epitome of nouveau riche. Black celebrities constantly showing off, stress, and perpetuate the message that what you can buy makes you rich. And white corporations love it because they know black people are heavily influenced by celebrities. Black entertainers are always being asked by talk show hosts, what are they wearing? What are they driving? When a reality star posted a $100,000 card that she gave her 16-year-old for a birthday gift and captioned it, black people are doing it out here. I was mad at first, but I just thought this is so sad and on so many levels. Because what are black people doing out here? Looking around out here, black people are helping maintain white privilege by not owning and controlling nothing. Black people are contributing to race extermination of themselves because they don't control any resources. Life exists only in communities that are self-organized to create and maintain the conditions needed for their survival. So when you think about it, and there's no black-owned hospitals, no black-owned schools, no black-owned supermarkets and banks and any other black communities in America, that means we need to change how we think about money and spending. Black people don't have community support, and we can't complain. We can complain about it. Oh, well, we don't have support. We don't have nothing. So we can complain about it and remain without. Or we can find something to do and then do it for our people. When I was homeless, I was introduced to an interesting business. In New York City's Chinatown, they have these all-night computer rooms. You pay $10 for a computer and you stay there all night until 10 a.m. Well, you can stay there all night. And they even had these rooms that had a shower. And those were priced, I think, like $5 more or something. So the rooms, they're full of cigarette smoke. The bathrooms look raggedy. You have to ask for the toilet paper. But on the most part, the rooms are safe. And what's interesting about it is this. These businesses were intentionally created to serve people who need to get off the street. The whole idea of being able to be there between 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. So they created this business to serve their homeless, because there's many homeless people in New York City, but this is not something the average person in New York City knows about. So this is in their community for them. This is a perfect example of when you want to win, you will find ways to win. So one more thing I'll say on getting clear, and then I'm going to end this. Stop being at war with yourself. You got to understand your internal reality. There's no greatness without inward thought. Pay attention to your emotions. If you're feeling overwhelmed, afraid, stressed, sad, depressed, or any other negative emotion, your brain is not as sharp and is less able to help you make good decisions or take important actions. Getting in the habit of paying attention to how you're feeling will help you be able to master your thoughts. It will help you have more energy, make better decisions, be more creative, and have more success in your life just by getting in the habit of paying attention to how you're feeling. because you got to know what you're creating with those emotions. So when you're sad, when you're depressed, you're creating more of that in your life, to have more sadness, more depression, because your life actually follows your feelings. People say your life follows your thoughts, and it is your thoughts, because when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling depressed, discouraged, it just means that you're thinking about what you don't want. You're thinking about what you don't want to happen in your life. So use that sadness, use that feeling down, of down mood, as a signal to yourself that, hey, what am I thinking about? To pay attention to what you're thinking about and say, okay, let me think about what I do want. Let me think about the situation that I want to happen. Let me think about the things I'm grateful for, because happiness will bring you more happiness. Happiness opens the door for things to manifest in your life much easier, and I know this from experience. So what I have to realize now is that one of my things that brings me a lot of frustration, okay, when adds to more frustration, is me always saying, oh, the kid is annoying, being home with him all day. And sometimes I may want to write a commentary, or I just feel frustrated that there's not enough time in my day to do the work that I want to do. So again, I got to bring myself back to everything is unfolding how it is meant to. But I can't keep saying to myself, this kid is annoying, this kid is annoying, because then I find myself being annoyed all day. I'm in an annoyed mood. I'm talking to him like I'm annoyed with him, or like he's annoying. And that's not cool, and it doesn't work out. So I use that as a trigger. I don't say anymore, oh, he's so annoying. And if I find myself saying that, then I immediately say, no, he is making me stronger. He is forcing me to be stronger. He is giving me the opportunity to perfect patience. So just turning it around like that, I can deal with that situation that I find annoying and flip it into a better situation for me and him, so that I cannot talk to him like he's annoying. Because I have to be honest, it is really bad. But that's the thing. Sometimes we want to break certain things. Why am I yelling? Why am I doing this? Okay, well, what am I saying to myself about this situation? I have to change how I'm looking at it. So a lot of times, if you could just tune into what you're feeling, not ignore it, or not try to just dismiss it and not think that there's nothing you could do about it. Because a lot of times people will be like, I'm just in a bad mood. Okay, so get yourself out of a bad mood. Your bad mood is your indication that you're not thinking in the right direction. And even when you switch the thoughts, sometimes you might still, it's natural to feel down. So it's not about, oh, you can't ever feel miserable, but it's just that you don't have to linger in misery. That doesn't have to be a hangout spot. So anyway, on that note, take it in a win.